Okay, let's go to our panel now. And joining me is lawyer and commentator Caroline Di Russo and Liberal Democrats candidate for Queensland, a Senate candidate, Campbell Newman. Welcome, guys. I'm not allowed to say guys anymore, am I? It's non-PC, but that's what I'm all about.
You can say it. Go
anyway.
for it.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Sounds great to me.
Look, I want to start with a story tonight. Right, we've spoken a lot over the years about China and their influence on Australia, but they're also making deals with Latin America and Caribbean countries. They're supplying the region with nuclear technology, helping to develop space programs. Caroline, this is right next door to the US. How worried should we be, given we depend on the US for so much of our defence?
Well, that is a really good point. That is a really good point. And look, I feel like, China started doing this in parts of South Asia, and then they moved on to Africa, which is probably not as politically consequential. And now they're testing the waters of Latin America and the Caribbean. And look, I've spent a lot of time in particularly South America, and it's a wonderful place, and they're known for a lot of things, but financial management is not one of them, Cory. And I think it should be really quite a concern for all of us to see the sort of money that China are now dipping into Latin America, and we've seen how it doesn't turn out. We saw that recently with the airport in Uganda. China now controls the only international route or flight route out of Uganda, and who's to stop them doing something similar in Latin America? They're now involved in a number of countries there, a number of countries in the Caribbean, and recently, I think it was November, Barbados celebrated independence. Breaking away from the Commonwealth, but they've just nabbed themselves a tidy $500 million for, I'm sure, some sort of infrastructure. And I think they'd want to be careful that this is not actually colonialism by stealth.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point, Campbell, isn't it? But if the United States actually has to watch what's happening in their own backyard and China's influence there more than they already are, doesn't it distract them from looking after the Asia-Pacific region, and us in particular, leaving us to our own devices wouldn't be a particularly good thing for our own defence, would it?
Look, I think the big problem with the US, and if you want to talk about distraction, Cory, is the politics of the United States. And sadly, we see shades of it in this country, but not to the same extent. And what I'm talking about is the way that the Democrat Party has gone so far left and is capable of defending borders. If you can't even defend your own borders, how can you even push back and maintain a coherent, sensible line against a communist party, single-party state who do have a game plan? The Chinese do. You've got to pay this. They've had a game plan. They've been working in it for quite some time, and they're relentless, and they have resources they deploy in the way that we've just heard. One promising thing, though, is that I think they've overstepped the mark. Democracies are mobilising. There's a story today, I think, in the media about Lithuania and the Baltic states that is sort of been hammered by China for doing, if you like, in Australia, standing up on issues of importance in terms of people's rights, democracy and the like, Hong Kong, the Uyghurs, and they've been subjected to a bit of bullying as well, it's claimed, and I've no doubt that's the case. Let's see what the EU do to stand up and support Lithuania.
I don't think they'll do anything. I think they've sold out to China already, haven't they?
Well, they have, but I think that's the point. I think the tide's turning on this one, and there's been such a bellicose, belligerent approach from the Chinese Communist Party that it is actually counterproductive to their overall strategic goals.